Welcome one and all to the Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 5 playoffs. This is the Open League. We have the first match of the conference finals in the Open League. This is Farm Friends versus Amish Paradise. On the side of Farm Friends, we have Tabby Cat 54, and Amish Paradise on the side of that is Zero Nix. I'm Professor Renderer. Joining me is Lana Bean. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing great. This is the Courage matchup, so this is Casual Boots. So a little bit of preamble before we get the story started. This is, as we mentioned, the conference finals. So these two teams have already made their place in the Invite League. They have reserved a spot in the Invite League coming next season. So the Tabby was sitting at 5-4 in the regular season. In the last matchup between in the conference semifinals against the Kabuki Hondo Activist Department, Tabby had lost both of her races, from first to CJ in their Casual Boots race, and then Norse Kamati into Norse Matty in the Swordless race. But afterwards, in that Game 5 decider, ended up when Mr. Scrub, Ninja Tuna, and Windfox 470, Tabby Cat's teammates had managed to clutch it out, and in the Retrance Game 5 decider, whereas Zero Nix, he had split his matches between VGF Taylor and Tony T. Young. Zero Nix lost the first game to VGF Taylor, and won the match between him and Tony T. Young, the team Asai, as we get underway. So, yeah, these teams are looking to try and go a little bit further and make their spot in the finals for the Open League. I mean, and then at the end of the day, they still have made it into the Invite League, so you will be seeing these teams again in the upper league coming in when we see Season 6 in the future. 20 rupees to start things off in the secret passage. Oh joy! Her shield. Just put it back where it belongs.
And a quick little thing for anybody unfamiliar with the mode, it is Casual Boots. We start with Boots, it's a full escape sequence, but once we get out in the open world, it's a 7 crystals to open Ganon's tower. Gotta beat Aga 2, and then take on the big pig himself.
Correct, yeah, and so the first couple of minutes here, nothing really much to talk about. So, of course, this is a perfect time to just talk about the stipulations at that point. So, yeah, these two teams definitely were very excited to see see them make it into the Invite League. I myself was looking really happy to see Farm Friends make it into Invite, because as some people may know within the community, Tabby Cat and Mr. Scrub Ninja Tuna are a perfect co-op duo. They are like one of the best duos you will ever see in the community.
Gonna be a fantastic series.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And as well, and I'll be honest, I'll be real here. The Windfox and Scruff are some good friends of mine, and I'm glad to see them make it this far. Zero Nix, Zero Nix, I saw Danny Music, his teammates, as well as we also have Deborah Warman, who's also on tracking today. They're watching this first match. Obviously, very excited to see them make it to Invite.
Alright, we already got the map, already got the key. 4 remaining checks, they're all gonna be items.
Yeah, it's always fun to see, just the back being loaded with items. So Tabby Cat has had a pretty decent run through this escape.
Pretty clean overall, not running into too much guard RNG issues or anything. Keeping bonks and things to a minimum, so yeah, keeping it clean here.
Yeah, very, very nice. So, as far as our MCU options are concerned, Tabby Cat will be running the Fire Emblem Three Houses MSU, and Zero Nix will be running Zelda and Chill. So whenever he switches to Zero Nix, will have some very nice, relaxing music. For the record, I've never played a Fire Emblem game, so I guess kind of appropriate since Engage is coming out pretty soon. Or if not, or if it had already been released, I don't know. But, oh yeah, it's actually coming out in like, as the time of this race, 3 days from now.
It looks like Zero Nix with a slight miscalculation bonks into that door. It happens. Tabby Cat bonks into that torch, but then gets the clean door rush there.
Yeah, I don't think that the torch bonk is that bad, really. They're still doing pretty well currently. So we do get blue mail. Always a nice sight to see at the very beginning.
Good clean escape. You have to keep it between about 5:05 to 5:15. Looks like going to be pretty close to 5:15, but really anything 5:30 and below, pretty good escape.
Yeah, was practically a sub 5:15. That was very well run by Tabby Cat. Those cards giving Tabby Cat a little bit of trouble.
Looks like both runners electing to go towards Kakariko. Got the book there in the bonk rocks. Sometimes in this mode, you do see people save and quit, head south towards South Shore. Get that out of the way. Hope to get, yeah, powder, flute, something.
Nice thing about that book is that we can get an early pet check, so we can get that out of the way right away. And tier 2 dropping 20 rupees.
Yeah, almost have Ganon money, or not Ganon, Zora money already.
Zora money, yeah. I was gonna, like, yeah. Oh, what? Is Ganon gonna just bribe us for him just to give us a Triforce or something?
Just $5 there, so Aga's not going to be required for a Lumberjack, but we'll see what else this game has in store.
Yeah, for all we know, we might still see an Aga required seed. As we do get a map check, we do have a blue pendant sitting at Desert Palace, and already, as I kind of said this, as I mentioned it, we're getting that early pet check, so we'll get that out of the way right away.
Looks like Zero Nix gonna skip out. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well,
okay. That is...
We'll find out when we get to Dark World.
That is honestly interesting. Yeah, crazy to think. Pedestal was actually interesting for once.
Yeah.
It might not be required, but like we don't know if it's required, because if Myers a pendant, then like, okay, we don't necessarily need it. Like, we don't need it. It's pulling the pedestal. Well, actually, no, wait.
Okay. Yeah, unless something is in the Meyer area or Meyer, that may not be required.
Right. Yeah. I I blanked for a second. Right, at this game gives information that with that glove or with that flute, that means that Meyer has to be a crystal. I blanked.
Oh, that's a good point. So this is Nagaseed, everybody. And I'm not Aga, pardon me. It is a ped seed.
Yeah, it is full. That is 100% required. Wow, that is surprisingly interesting.
How could Meyer be a pendant? Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, South Shore giving us a sword. But Kakariko giving us so far a glove, bombos. So Zero Nix electing to not check Pedestal, whereas Tabby Cat knows if you get a completable pendant, you might just want to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, so this is still very interesting because like that fully is required. Just that pedestal is fully required because of that information on the flute, which that gives an advantage, I would say, to Tabby with at least knowledge information. As we see that Zero Nix getting the Moon Pearl from the Chicken Hut.
And Tabby Cat getting a tempered from Ice Rod Cave.
So we already have have some good security for Ganon, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, some good security for later fights.
Now, if we get a fire source, that could be an early desert pendant. But really, at this point, you're in no rush to do things. I mean, desert, you're not going to be able to combine it with Meyer. There's no chance, but yeah, it's interesting right now. Happy Cat's got some interesting routing choices.
Yeah, I know Tabby Cat typically doesn't avoids CAC for a good while. Eventually, it will come to a point where she will have to get that glove and Moon Pearl. But it's close. It's not too far away. It shouldn't be that terrible.
Nah, it's in Kakariko. Tabby Cat's just kind of hoping for something to help routing in Kakariko. But you know you're not going to get the flute.
Yeah, and as Tabby Cat's teammate, Mr. Scrub Ninja 2 points on the chat, she typically delays going into Kakariko just through a certain criteria that she has. So this isn't really unsurprising for Tabby Cat. It's just something that she does.
Well, it's not going to hurt them in the least. The only thing right now is Zero Nix is getting an Agina check that we have not seen. But otherwise, looks like Tabby Cat going over to Saha. That's an interesting play right now.
Yeah, with your information that with the information that you got from the pedestal being that it is a required pedestal with that flute, which meant that the logic implies that that Meyer has to be a crystal. Full stop. You either are gonna check the green pendant now, or you wait. So we have knowledge of the myths.
Yeah, that's Dark World access right there.
Yeah, all she'll have to do is head over to she'll have to head over to Kakariko, but it is not too far away though. Just a simple walk or run in this case. Just over.
Interesting for Zero Nix to dip into desert right now. No fire source, kind of taking a chance on being able to get one here.
Yeah, it's a move that is, I think it's fine, and hey, you get rewarded for it.
There you go. Okay, a fire source to beat desert. The issue is if Zero Nix gets both items at a desert, there's no chance of beating desert right now. So you have a better chance. Like, it's really good for Zero Nix right now if the second item is on land mode, but it looks like I missed the early part of the dungeon. Maybe Zero Nix already got both that because we're heading to Agina.
Yeah, so you get a nice little payouts from this early dip into desert with the fire source. And as we were alluding to originally, Tabby Cat is going to go ahead and head into Kakariko. She's going to go ahead and, nice clip by the way, get that Moon Pearl and Mitts.
8 out of 10 chicken clip, not bad. Okay, so it's unfortunate for Zero Nix. If Zero Nix happened to have checked Ped, we're probably not leaving that desert unbeaten.
Yeah, that's something that I mentioned before.
But the thing is that Mitts is Dark World access, so you're forced to go back to Kakariko. So that head check is probably coming up.
Yeah, you're not gonna like put up that pedestal for too long anyway. So it's gonna come up eventually for Zero Nix. What stands right now is that Tabbycat has that early knowledge. So if Zero Nix for some reason decides to still leave out the pedestal, even though it is still right there, that information might not be coming for Zero Nix until much later, depending on what we get.
True, but if you happen to get like a mirror between Village of Outcasts and Hype Cave, you might go ahead and just like mirror if you've got it, and then just go west to desert because you know you're not gonna have a flute to get there.
Right, and that's what I was gonna get at. That mirror will be the one thing that Zero Nix would want to get, so that he would have that ped check if he chooses to not do the ped check before heading into the Dark World.
At this point, no hook shot, so your Death Mountain access is limited, but that mirror could be hanging out with Gary or in Spec Rock, but chances are it's somewhere and you're going to get it somewhere because, hey, Ped Seed.
Yeah, and that's always fun to see. And hey, it's one way to start off the conference finals with a Ped Seed. All right, Dark World map check: Green Pendant, Turtle Rock, Skull Woods, Red Pendant, and 5-6 crystals, Dead Odd, and Ice. And yeah, we alluded to earlier, with that pedestal being a flute, it has to be a crystal. Had to be a crystal. So, and it couldn't be a pendant.
Right, 5-6 maybe, but not that. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be possible and beatable. I'm just saying.
There's a hammer out of Skull Woods, so that makes Thieves Town an easy decision.
And that's just as far as Tabby Cap will go.
Well, you got an item out early, it's Thieves Town. What are the chances your second item is going to also be required? Cough, cough.
Not to mention, you still don't have Fire Raj to even complete that pendant. And yeah, with that hammer, that does mean Aga is completely dead. So it isn't a full-on AD seed. It is just, oh hey, we just get pedestal. We'll clear all regular dungeons except for all the dungeons except for Castle Tower. Bow AD? Anyway, we have Thieves Town for Tabicap. To answer a question in the chat from Tyler Saw, the pedestal has the flute.
Okay, so Zero Nick's about to get that Dark World access. And yeah, saving and quitting, not bothering going into Eastern yet, but this is kind of a big point for Zero Nick's. It seems pretty easy for us to say, hey, ped check, you're in the area. But for Zero Nick's, could be thinking, just gonna wait to go and do Skull Woods with a Fire Rod and Mirror and do that. And meanwhile, if Tabby Cat gets a couple of beatable pendants, then that's a big advantage.
Correct, yeah. And we already know of like one of them, and that with that fire source being in desert. Well, sort of.
Yeah, that's pretty big too, because that'll leave Zero Nick's able to go beat desert whenever they want. Which is really the same thing at this point. It's regardless beatable very quickly, but knowing that it's pedestal required, you're gonna not put it off too long.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do something eventually. And as I kind of figured as much, Zero Nick's will go ahead and go into the Dark World without checking pedestal. It makes sense because with Mid's Dark World, that pedestal check is out of the way, because you would have to first go back to where the Lost Woods is at and check pedestal, and then run your way back, and then head over to the Dark Rock to get into the Dark World.
Okay, there's a hookshot in Thieves Town that does put a beatable Hera into play as well.
Now, right now, as far as leads are concerned, yes, while Tabby Cat does have the knowledge of pedestal, I wouldn't say it's insurmountable. It's just that knowledge advantage helps.
Well, and the fact of the matter is that Turtle Rock locks so much, and it's a green pendant. It could be a while. Oh.
Okay.
All right. Never mind. We're gonna probably go beat Skull, and then just check ped. That's fine. So apparently that French vanilla fire rod is in fact a thing okay, so the lead just swung, I think.
And this is something that Tabby Cat chose to leave out after doing this Skull Woods play. She got the hammer and left.
Yeah, this is big. Currently, Zero Nick's has knowledge of both fire sources, and Tabby Cat knows that one's needed for desert. Oh my gosh. Oh, but Zero Nick's is not beating a skull! Oh right, it's a pendant. You get both items out of there. There's no... Oh my gosh, this is interesting.
Yeah, and this comes back to the lack of pedestal knowledge. The knowledge that, I have to beat the pendants.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if anybody has an advantage right now.
It's really hard to say. Like, there really isn't really a advantage that, like, huge advantage. There is knowledge advantage in one form or another, but it's not big enough to make it just a talking point to say this could have this should have happened one way or another. All right, we have a brewery check coming up for a Tabby Cat. Nothing of note.
So Tabby Cat's gonna go to South Dark World, Hype Cave, maybe even route in Pyramid Catfish, but not gonna find a fire source, and then has a reason to go right up Death Mountain, and not gonna find one there either.
Yeah, and it's a concerning thing for Tabby Cat, because when will she head back over to Skull Woods to get that French vanilla fire rod?
Or to desert to get the... Oh, lordy.
Yeah, and that doesn't help either, that bow.
Okay, so pedestal aside. Tabby Cat has a lot of completable dungeons right now.
Correct. She just opened up Pod and Eastern with that bow. Sure, you don't have a lamp for those, but this our runner should be good. Should be more than qualified to do the dark rooms without a lamp. Although Zero Next has a lamp, so I'm just saying it more in general sense. All right, we'll see a stumpy check coming up from Tabby Cat as Zero Next will be heading over to get the hook shot from the attic. And to answer a question in chat, the lamp is sitting in Desert Palace on the right side. I always hate that RNG. Whenever you get bumped on literally nothing with that when the rock spawns. All right, hype cave time, or maybe it's overhyped. I don't know. Still nothing, and well, I mean, we get a bottle, so not. It's nice. Still kind of overhyped, but hey, it's a bottle. We'll take it for safeties.
My internet reset. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
What did I miss in the last minute?
We just saw that from Hype Cave, if you really want to call it that, just had a bottle and nothing else. So I guess sort of overhyped, but in a way it kind of is. I don't know. All right, we're going to see Tabby Cat hit a pod now.
Let's just call it the cave formerly known as Hype.
Yeah, it's the cave that has to be named because we just isn't version 18.
Right. And for anybody unaware, that's exactly it. Earlier versions of the game really didn't have much of a logic yet, so lots of items in Kakariko and Hype Cave.
Okay. Anyway, enough of the Hype Cave stuff. We're gonna head into Pod now as Zero Next heads and starts to finish up this blind fight.
So Tabby Cat is gonna have a bit of a thing here in that. Oh, hi, Ice Rod, also required for Turtle Rock. Alright, so we now know where Ice Rod, Fire Rod, Mitts are. We could have almost tier access if we get Kane. But anyway, Tabby Cat's going to be able to clean out Eastern, clean out Pod, go clean out Hira, and right now you have no logical way up Death Mountain, so you're going to know at least a lamp's available somewhere, either in Eastern or Desert, or the last of Skull, so Tabby Cat's going to be able to deduce where some of that fire source is.
Right. This also is nice for Zero Nix because because of the fire rod knowledge that he has. That will give him both rods, so he won't have to worry about a fire rod hunt.
Now, for all we know, the everything just could line up to where Zero Nix starts clearing pendant dungeons too. I'm not going to touch Skullwoods until the end, but other than that.
Yeah, and to dispel anything that, and for those who are coming into the chat for the first time, or at least a little bit later after we got this information, Flute is on Pedestal, so that is pretty cool. It's actually interesting. It's actually interesting for once.
Tech Render and I a minute to be like, wait, is Meyer Pedestal or is Meyer Pendant? And it's like, yeah, you kind of need the flute to get there, so it's a crystal.
Yeah, I blinked and realized, oh wait, with that flute being on the pedestal, that has to mean Meyer had to be a crystal. There really isn't any way around it. All right. Nothing to note of in the back of, or the basement of Pod.
Tabby Cat, gotta be careful though, down to a couple of hearts.
Oh, wow.
Oh my lord.
Put them back where they came from, or so help me.
The evilest of shields.
All three of them were unavoidable.
Render, I am with you.
It looks like she may have messed up trying to the line up for the hammer jump, so it's just gonna go ahead and do this one more time. She has one attempt at this.
Don't do it. You're gonna die if you fail. Just go the other way in Death Warp.
She's got it.
It's fine.
That will mean that she might want to use the bombos here to clear out the Kadongos.
I would. You've got bombs, so clear out the room. Death Warp with the bomb, call it good. And meanwhile, Zero Nix is going to get the pod and be able to just walk through everything all nice and leisure-like.
That, and also to point out, yes, she does have a red potion. She might want to hold on to it. But she does get all the items though, so that's not that big of a deal. So, it is something to mention in case she has to make an action and have to burn a red potion.
Turtle Room could be a little bit interesting with no fire rod or lamp.
Yeah, and this is one thing that I don't particularly like. Really, when you do this, when you do pod without any fire source, even with just a fire rod solely, it's just that turtle room. You can't see anything. You have to go by feel. Alright, Xeonex will be heading into pod as well, as Tabby Cat will be heading to the back to finish it up. This will result in Xeonex getting a nice rod here.
Yeah, but a fully completable pod. No sign of a mirror though, so gonna have to go back to Light World the slow way to beat Eastern.
Correct. And once again, the concern that Xeronex might be a little concerned here, just because he hasn't checked the pedestal, and he doesn't know that there's a flute set in there, and he's looking at that green pendant turtle rock, and he's like, oh, I really don't want to do this. When we have, well, sure, he doesn't have Samaria yet, but it's just something that down the road he might be thinking, oh, this is not good.
Oh, you're gonna be forced there regardless. I mean, like, the worst part is Skullwoods had an extremely good item layout, but is a pendant. So unless you intentionally route in that ped check, you're not doing it, just like Duranix did. And then you have no reason to go back. And
yeah, and as Chad is pointing out, especially in fact, his teammate Danny Music, Turtle Rock he could still hinder Turtle Rock once he has Samaria, just for the sake of density. It's 5 items.
Darn the lack of mirror. Maybe you get that excuse to do it when you're done with Skull, but otherwise, oh my gosh. So who's gonna come up in the end here? Because Xernex has the fire knowledge, Tabby Cat has the ped knowledge, and you just kind of need them both.
Alright, that was a very quick Helmasaur fight from Tabby Cat. So that's crystal number 2 for Tabby Cat. All right, after that's done, this is a save and quit. Gonna leave leaves out it leaves out the pyramid ledge and catfish with this save and quit, but I think the intention is okay. I was gonna say wait, are you having a dark world? But no, she's not doing that. This is a ice play, looks like. I mean, it's a crystal. It's got 3 items. Tabby Cat could be going for the supposed rule of fire. Although we already know that we already know our fire sources, so that can't be it. Okay, so with this play, she probably is doing just for the possibility of finding another fire source with that bombos. But as we seen from Zero Next, we already know of our fire sources. One is sitting in Pendant Desert, and one of them is sitting in Pendant Skull. One of which is French Vanilla.
And that skull play could be Tabby's last location, because you need that to beat Skull, and Turtle Rock, but holy moly, that could be darn near last location.
Yeah, it's not a good spot for that fire rod. If you're rooting Tabby Cat, but it's something that you're gonna have to do. Tabby Cat has to do this. She knows that she has to do this because she has that knowledge of the pedestal. All right, IPPJ coming up for Tabby Cat. A little bit of difficulty trying to get that vertical pixel.
A little bit low. Ooh, looks good there.
That was high.
Or not.
Yeah, that wasn't it. That she was 1 pixel high.
Meanwhile, Zero Nix does pick up crystal number 2.
This is it. Good job, just standing there in the middle of the path of the spike of the fire bar, so that she doesn't get thrown off the edge of thrown into a pit and basically ruin that entire sequence of events there.
So Tabby did have to use that red potion to continue ice. Ice isn't horrible. It is dangerous right now. 6 hearts, you're going to get 2 shot by cold stare puffs. But you got tempered, so if you're familiar with cold stare, should still be a pretty safe dungeon.
Right, and it looks like Tabby Cat may have realized that using that bomb may be a bad idea currently, so she decided to drop down so that she can save that bomb for the bomb jump on the way back. We will see Zero Next heading into Eastern Palace, however, starting those checks. That is 3 items that you can pick up.
Probably would have been okay to use that bomb because you still get more free ones in the back of ice near the big key chest, but yeah, it's not bad either way because you could hit up that chest on the way back, like you said.
Yeah, that is true. I just figured that she may have panicked and might have not known about that spot, so just wanted to play it safe instead.
So as chat pointing out, the mountain is a good play. You got a lot of checks up there, but what you're hoping for at this point is a mirror to be able to not have to climb as many times. So that's probably why one of the reasons why they're kind of digging out these areas before going Death Mountain, because if you get that mirror, suddenly you can clear out both Light and Dark Death Mountain in one go, instead of having to do Light and then go all the way back to the right, go to Dark World, climb again, do all that stuff.
Alright, Tabby Cat will head over to the right side of Ice Palace to get the icebreaker chest in the H room.
Not picking up any of those free bombs. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it might be she might not know about those and just went for the switch instead.
I suppose you don't technically need any more bombs. You got hook shot, so you could just hook shot to the chest, I guess.
Our container in the big key chest of Eastern Palace.
Oh, and then there's that too. We don't have a big key. I did not notice that.
Alright. Big chest for Ice Palace.
Oh no! Oh wait, you could just go right, left, right? I think.
It's a super tile.
Oh, never mind. Right, big chest. I know I saw at least one item out of ice. Do we have two?
We should have, I believe, two. I wasn't keeping track myself.
Well, we have. We're just gonna have to see.
Yeah, and this could be a problem for Tabby if this Ice Palace big chest ends up being something. We did get at least, looks like we got one item out of Ice Palace, and that was the red rupee, but that was all that was picked up from there.
Oh, so this big chest is gonna have an item then.
Yeah, and that could be a problem for Tabby Cat. Tabby Cat using the top of the room to get rid of the ice shards that from these stalactites at the top of the room.
So both Xeronix and Tabby Cat getting red rupees off their respective bosses, but Tabby Cat's gonna have to go into that big chest if they want to get all the items. And we are not.
Oh wait, I think we there is, I believe, something that Pengator. The Pengator room had a piece apart. So buy all three items.
Okay, all right.
I wasn't sure because again, I wasn't really keeping track of the items. So yeah, so we have all three items. So that's a sigh of relief for Tabby Cat.
Okay, Tabby Cat, where are you going?
Xerox head up the mountain. This looks like to be a big bomb play. Okay.
Oh yeah, Ice Palace and Pod.
So this leads to Catfish and the Pyramid Ledge. And now we've switched over to Xeronix with Zelda and Chill.
And Xeronix going in the cave by accident. Whoops.
That may have been a little bit of muscle memory play with SMZ3, because that is the Upper Norfair cross-game portal in that game.
Or cross keys, maybe.
Or cross keys, that too.
All right, Pyramid Fairy, what do you got for us?
we will see what the Pyramid Fairy gives us. Just a useless bottle. Oh, okay.
Oh, that seems required. So right now that's 2 more checks, but that is easier routing on Death Mountain right now. And you're gonna get Zora too.
That actually is just kind of a tough sell for Zero next. Because when would you ever go to Ice Palace currently with Samarialess and you're doing this with Flippers?
Well, given how much the mirror locks, Flippers is probably right up here in Death Mountain or Dark Death Mountain here.
Probably, yeah.
The only way this is bad for Zero Nix is if you got Samaria and not much else up here, because Tabby knows to go into TR. Not so much for Zero Nix.
Right. So Catfish bringing up nothing. And it looks like Tabby Cat has not chosen to save and quit or mirror. Oh, I mean, there's no reason to mirror anyway, because you don't have flutes. It's on the pedestal. So this looks like to be a wraparound to go back over to the upper northern dark world.
Yeah, graveyard, King's Tomb.
Yeah, Graveyard Edge, King's Tomb could wrap that back to Skull Woods to get the Fire Rod.
Have we seen Zora yet from either runner?
No. I think Tabby Cat did see it because I think she was close to Zora money, or unless I didn't see it and she didn't have it. Okay, Zora did. Both of our runners did get Zora. Okay.
Okay.
That's what I figured. Well. Oh, Tabby Cat's got it. Never mind. Ugh.
Look like $50 in King's Tomb, not much there.
Yeah, I think with this play that Tabby Cat's trying to do, this could lead into a Skull Woods play again, because that makes sense.
Not a chance. We're going up the mountain.
Oh. Okay.
There's, what, 15, 20 checks versus Skullwoods 1? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I think with that mirror that her intention really was to go up the mountain, which that sucks because that you still have that Fire Rod's consideration.
So both runners pretty much have to hope for the same thing. They gotta hope for Samaria, like, on Dark Death Mountain to lock things. Like, Xeronix usually doesn't a good excuse to go through TR. And Tabby Cat, if you get Samaria and not much else on Death Mountain, then you're kind of forced into Desert Skull a lot earlier.
Right. So this play up the mountain, it will result in a crystal, yes, but it's still, when will Tabby Cat ever go back to Skull Woods? Also, a little bit of time loss from Tabby Cat because a little bit of extra walking time for the old man.
I gotta presume TR clearing is coming right up. We already got 2 out of 3 pendants. I can't... Like, Samaria's gotta be coming up here.
It has to show up eventually, right? So there's the boots that was placed that was the replacements of the boots, because for casual boots we placed the boots in our inventories, and what was originally where the boots was supposed to be is replaced with a green 20 using Saj Robot's preset that's for casual boots. So, and the green 20 itself is not affected by logic.
Which is really funny because the game's going to place boots in trolley locations regardless of logic. or no logic, because Boots and Spiral is evil.
Yeah, even if, no matter how you sliced it, it's still kind of bad. Oh, Tabby, I don't know if she knows this, but she mirrored and while she was trying to get the key, and with the boomerang.
Yeah, I'm gonna find that out pretty quick. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because you don't have the fire source for basement anyway, but eh. Alright, give us our mirror game so we can go in the swamp.
Or smart, or oh, the Samaria, you mean?
Nah,
Or the flippers.
oh yeah, I'm not sorry, flippers, yeah. I expect like flippers will be here, Samaria in swamp, some nonsense, you know.
Yeah, it does check out, and like it makes it's logically sound. And yeah, with Tabby Cat being the only one with a mirror, you still would have to place the you still have to get the flippers first, and then get your mirror from the Pyramid Fairy. But we get Quake Medallion instead.
Well, for 8 seconds we were worried about TR entry, and suddenly there it is.
Yep, hidden right underneath the doorstep.
Okay, Zeronix, where are you going? Are you gonna do the thing? Are you gonna check pad?
This might be an upcoming pet check, and also a skull clear, because could be a skull clear, could be a pet check, then a skull clear.
You're not doing skull clear until you do pet check, unfortunately.
That's the thing, yeah. I guess you have. Your problem. The more likely scenario is you have to do pad before you do the skull clear, but it looks like instead wanted to do the Smith chain.
Hey, unless I'm mistaken, this chain's gonna have progression or hammer pegs, because I'm pretty sure we've done everything else.
We're not doing hammer pegs?
Oh, we don't. Wait, we don't have a mirror, so I guess hammer peg's just going to be routed in with purple chest.
I guess that makes sense. That you have the you grab the purple chest and then you do the hammer pegs along the way.
Did we see K45 from Tabby Cat? I don't think we did.
No.
We saw graveyard check, so there is one mirror check that progression could be at. Well, that's right. Hammer pegs is bow. Thank you, chat.
Oh, hammer pegs was a bow. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
They checked that before leaving Outcasts.
Right. Yeah. Because they had mitts early. So that may have been Zeronix going, oh, wait a minute, I don't have mirror.
So at this point, progression at purple chest, K45, or Bombo's tablet?
And Zeronix only has access to one of them.
Yeah, purple chest is going to be coming up, though. And then Big Bomb, I presume it'd be pretty quick, too. K45 is in logic. We know where the mirror is. That's at Pyramid Fairy. Oh, wait, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah, we don't have flippers. So that is out of logic. So
you're right.
That means one of them. So I mean, K40 that the purple chest has to yield something, and that includes the flippers.
I think flippers are highly likely to be here at purple chest.
Oh, I would imagine so, because like that. Where else do you find them?
Well, in TR, this could be some Maria, because TR is in logic too with that.
Or of course you do the crazy fetch quest chain like everyone is like pretty much every other person does.
Or not.
Nope. So that's not it.
Did we get both items out of Hira? Or is there an item in basement? I know I saw bombs.
Yeah, I saw bombs too.
Ooh, yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, we did get 2 out of Hira. So did we only get 1 in a desert?
1 out of desert that had them in it. And the thing about the desert play is that it's mirror locked.
Oh, we're getting the other check right now. Spike Cave, which we don't have Sperna or Cave, but we do have bottles.
Yeah, but that's even with the bottles, it's out of logic. Because you absolutely need an invulnerability item for this to be in logic.
So both the runners...
we have also...
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go first. You're good.
Yeah, it seems like with the three bottles that we get, we're actually fine. But I'm just kind of throwing it out that like you would still need like an invulnerability item to make it, I think, in logic. Oh wow, okay.
Could be Meyer for that.
Meyer, which means you would have to pull Pedestal to get the flute that leads to those flippers.
So all we have left, second check desert. Okay, is this the pet check?
Now, I will.
No, it's not.
It's no. Zero Nix is turning around, so looks like that is a no.
We don't have mirror, so yeah, we have none icy after Zero Nix.
Yeah, and we are going left, so this is a no. Now, once Zero Nix checks the pedestal, I think now Zero Nix has an advantage just through items alone. It's not a lead. It's just an advantage. We are seeing a current.
Good.
We're seeing a current jump from Zero Nix. You can go now.
Well, Tabby Cat's quickly running out of locations. Going to be forced back into Skull or Desert very quickly.
Right. Zero Nix having a little trouble trying to get the timing down for this. Realize that he's realizing that he's wasted enough time trying to do this current jump that he chooses to abandon it and save quit. So, all right, Zero Nix is going into the dark world again from the bottom. Where could this possibly be? This
Did
might
Zero
be
Nix do Catfish?
that might be what he was trying to do. He was trying to current jump to get to Catfish, so he's taking the normal route that he would take and not taking the shortcut.
So after this, Zero Nix has gotta know that it's second item desert, whatever the progression is, for logic reasons. Because I'm pretty sure unless you sequence break Ice Palace, this is last location for Zero Nix.
Correct. And to answer your question, Chad, Zero Nix has not checked the pedestal, and this is the one thing that's been keeping Tabby Cat's advantage still in play, and that is the knowledge that Tabby Cat has of the pedestal very early on in the game with the early book in Bonk Rocks coming directly after the required standard escape sequence.
But Tabby Cat's 2 issues is, number 1, go into Skull, get the hammer and leave. Fire Rod and the big key chest. Number 2, has not gone into Desert, the actual other fire source in the lamp. Zero Nix issue, has not checked pedestal. Left after getting the first item out of Desert. Yeah, it hasn't really... Okay, here comes the Desert dip for Zero Nix.
Okay, so this is just so he's done everything that you could possibly do without going into Penta Dungeons. So this has to be the play to go into desert, that's exactly what you gotta do now.
All right, so Tabby Cat gonna do blacksmith chain here likely, and then gonna be at a logical location. So desert or skull after that for Tabby Cat. So still advantage to Tabby Cat, but not by much.
It's still very. It has starting, but by every minute that Tabby Cat decides to not do Skull Woods, the more time that advantage is the advantage that she has is fading away. So she would have to do this quick enough to still maintain the advantage. Oh no, are you serious?
Oh my gosh. So if you get all of the items out of Turtle Rock before Trinex, do you just leave? Or do you do it for Green Pendant at least? Okay, so you're gonna get flippers out of TR. There's well, I guess not. You're likely to get flippers out of TR or Mire area.
So Xeronix finds the Samaria, but it's really this is just not really good for Xeronix because it's diverting attention away. It's a diversion from the pedestal.
And I don't see this as good for Tabby Cat either, because what's going to happen is you're going to turn in that purple chest and you're going straight to desert. You're going to get that Samaria and you're going to TR without the fire rod.
Right, and that's just kind of rough. Just like because you have to go. Yeah, it's I don't like that.
This is rough for Tabby Cat. Oh my gosh. You're going to get the Bombos tablet at the same time. So it won't be flippers. It won't be progression. Oh gosh.
This is some logic that I'm trying to wrap my head around.
So Xeronix may be getting just oopsied by multiple dips, just all because of not checking ped, because every single pendant dungeon that Xeronix has gone into has been a one dip required dungeon. And You're forcing yourself to potentially double dip all 3 pendant dungeons.
Correct, yeah. And that's just... that is very frustrating, just because, like... we are not seeing a Bombos check.
Wait, did Tabby Cat never go to the... Oh.
Huh.
I never realized that. Oh, and never went to desert area as well. So Agina, okay, makes sense. Probably hoping to route in the dam and head west towards desert, but never needed to.
Interesting decision. I would never be putting off dam for that long.
That's a play you see from some runners, but not many.
Yeah, it's a very niche play to make, and that's just very, very uncommon. Like, very rare do you see a play like that.
It's Sphere 1.
Yeah. Bombos tablet check coming up. We just get a piece of heart. We're now heading into the desert area. This will give Tabby Cat a fire source at last.
Which will do nothing.
Right. But then also you get Samaria too, which...
Exactly. You're probably not thinking to go into the back of Skullwoods with that fire source.
Now, one saving grace that Tabby Cat has is that, well, she'll see it when she goes over to Turtle Rock. We have a big key on the first chest, so she will be kicked out immediately if she goes into Turtle Rock.
For anybody just joining us, we are in Flute's... Not Flutes. We know where Flute is. It's on Pedestal. We are pretty much in... Especially for Tabby Cat soon-ish. But anyway, we're in no mode except Flippers.
Flippers, yeah.
So Flippers are going to be either in Turtle Rock, not in Swamp Palace, pardon me, either Turtle Rock or Mire area.
Well, even then, you still need to do Flippers for Swamp.
Yes, so flippers are going to be a thing, but you're going to be able to go mode swamp at this point. Nothing there you'll need.
Yeah, it's just a flipper. It's we're looking at a flipper go mode for our runners. It will be once that flippers come up for one of those runners, it will be no. Well, if you're zero next, then that is just go. But you still, the main issue is that you're not well. It's still no because you don't have the pedestal information.
So this is kind of the point Tabby Cat's going to be like, ah, crap. Could have came in here, got the book right away. But you got that ped knowledge, but your brain is going to be saying, my opponent has had ped knowledge for almost an hour.
Right, and that's just something that's just... It's a play that works. It did work out for Tabby Cat, but, like, Zero Nix will just be like, oh, no, this is just... That might have been the race.
Did Tabby Cat get... Yeah, must have gotten that lamp, I think.
Yeah, I got the lamp at Samaria.
So, gonna be desert. How are they going up to TR? I did not look at the early layout. Is Tabby gonna get locked out of TR quickly?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so the only other play besides TR, there's the flippers. Yeah. We're in no mode at this point. So that's not great for Zero Nix. That buys a little bit of time for Tabby Cat because that's Ice Palace Zero Nix has to go through. Gonna full clear. That is Swamp. Gonna go through. Gonna full clear. And meanwhile, Tabby Cat just has to get to Laser Bridge. But has to go to Skullwoods first.
Right. She'll be locked out by doing this. So she will be clearing out Lamb Mollusk because that is her part. That is the pedestal knowledge coming into play. Zero Nix is fighting Shrine X because that's just something that you do in Green Pendant Turtle Rock. You just gotta fight this and go for the Green Pendant.
Which is good because you're gonna need to do it anyway, unbeknownst to your knowledge. I mean, your mind at this point knows that you still have a fully clearable ice, so in your mind you're like, pedestal's kind of in the back of your mind, but you're also like, there's a lot of checks left.
Okay, get a red mail for a free red mail for our trouble. So simultaneous boss clears for both Tabby Cat and Zero Nix. Okay, where do you go now? We are going to see the TR play, so it makes sense because you just got Samaria, but you will be locked out by this. So I think at that point, I think you go Skull.
Advantage Tabby Cat. There's no other play. This is it. It's Turtle Rock or Skullwoods. Tabby Cat has full cleared otherwise.
Yes.
And at this point, definite advantage in Tabby Cat's court because it's just the amount of coverage that Tabby Cat's already done.
Plus the pedestal knowledge.
And the ped knowledge, and Zero Nix is going to be full clearing Ice and Swamp before finally getting forced to go check ped or just complete dungeons and know you're doing ped.
Right. It's very unfortunate because this was just a decision that was made that could have been made in like on the first couple of minutes in the run.
Right? Could you imagine Cat decides to go further into Skull, gets that fire rod, beats Skull, goes down and gets the lamp out of Desert, beats Desert as well. And then you're just on your merry way. I mean, this is probably close to an hour, maybe an hour 10 seed.
Correct. And yeah, she will get locked out here. She will mirror out.
We're gonna go do the Spike Cave and then pretty much go to Skull.
Yeah, this is your last thing you do before you last located that fire rod. Yeah, it's again, it's something that a decision that was made in the first couple minutes of the run, directly after finishing up the escape and doing your Lost Woods checks.
All right, so Tabby Cat is now protected against ether required for Mire if needed, but otherwise we're just going to Mire.
Or Skull.
I'm sorry, Skull. Yeah.
Yeah. I think really now you have the this now is the unmistakable advantage for Tabby Cat. You got a huge advantage coming up for Tabby Cat with the Skull Woods. She might be feeling kind of bad because she last located this fire rod in Skull.
Yeah. Pretty much, Tabby knows that this is either going to be a fire rod or the... Well, no, yeah, it could be flippers. In Tabby Cat's mind.
Yeah, it's either flippers or fire rod for Tabby Cat. Yeah, she might be feeling like, okay, now I've lost this race.
No. And Xeronix has made a lot of good plays, but unfortunately just skipping that ped check is what did it, I think.
Yeah, and Tabby Cat, understandably a little annoyed with that fire rod position. Yeah, that's just and I can't blame her really. Leaving that fire rod out in a French vanilla Skull, that's just like, yeah, I feel like I lost this race.
Now, especially with that as your first Dark World check. It's a decision though, right? I mean, you pull an item out, you're like, what are the chances Big Key Chest has something? See you later. So yeah. I certainly cannot blame her for making that call.
No, I can't blame her either. Getting that hammer first thing and then bailing, that is a very good, that's a good call to make if you want to play the aggression. But in this case, that just came back to bite her. But
it did.
But it still isn't in a bad position. She doesn't know this, but this is just still very much her advantage for different reasons. Okay, Skullwoods is down, and now we should be heading back to Turtle Rock by now.
Yeah, Tabby's about 5 minutes from go.
Yeah, and in case you're joining in, yeah, we have this is a very solid lead now for Tabby Cat.
Okay, so help right, gotta get the mirror before going to swap right.
Right. Wow, what a way to kick off the conference finals for the Open League.
Only thing we missed out of this was an Agaseed.
Yeah, even then, a Ped Seed, like, just to kick things off, that's one way to start it.
Right? Fire sources and 2 readily available quick dungeons.
Yeah. You if you're looking for a seed that's just, you got this logic that's like, oh, wow, okay. on top of it being pet required, that you got access so early on. Well, that's the seed for you. And what way to start it off? And it was the first seed in the conference finals. Now, these two teams, Farmers and Amish Paradise, have already qualified to the Invites League for season 6. So they're just playing to see if they can make it to the open finals.
Well, in the seed, both runners feel like are going to make a pretty weird mistakes, but in the end, it's rando. Chances are the seed you're playing is not going to be pet. Chances are the second item you're skipping in a pendant skull weds is not going to cost you. But in this particular seed, it kind of did both the other.
So, yeah, Tabby Cat's down with a Turtle Rock. She's got the 2 keys as Zero Next enters Swamp Palace, looking for something. Looking for that flute. Basically praying that it's not on Pedestal.
Well, for Zero Next, you pretty much have nothing else but pet dungeons when you're done here. So definitely going to have that knowledge by the time it's done, but Tabby Cat is firmly in the lead at this point.
Okay. So Tabby Cat is going to go ahead and looks like this is Is she okay, just getting just getting the item, I think. And it was just a little bit of a decision from Tabby Cat whether to steal the key or pick up the item.
Well, Tabby Cat doesn't know Go mode's on Laser Bridge, so you're full clearing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was right. It's Tabby Cat. I was thinking that Tabby Cat would probably want to try to see if she could gamble an item, or what, at least gamble leaving that chest out, or maybe just wanting to play it safe and full clearing it.
Well, there's another check you didn't want to see. Fetch quest, anybody? That's magic powder in waterfall chest of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and this just, well,
I mean, it's a good excuse to go read a ped.
Right. It's just, from what we know, it's just too late.
Yeah, a little bit. Little bit. Good Argus fight from Zero Nix, well done.
Yep. Comes with a map and another crystal. That is the 6th crystal on the board. And Tabby Cat will be on the way to Laser Bridge. That will give her flippers, and that will result in Go mode. Well, Tabby Cat is still opening chests because she hasn't found those flippers yet. So, and she doesn't know doesn't know where they are. Yeah.
And Zeronix full clearing swamp without that pad knowledge. Because all Zeronix is looking for is the flute.
Yeah, and we know where it is.
Okay, you gotta call it here. You gotta call this go mode here.
Yep. So, with this this flippers pickup from Tabby Cat at 1:18:23, Tabby Cat is now in go mode.
Almost gonna want Tabby Cat to plop that last chest. Gosh darn it! Oh well.
All right, and now to answer a question in chat for the MSUs, just to kind of clarify, or at least to get us up to speed again. Tabby Cat is running the Fire Emblem 3 Houses MSU. Pretty good game. I heard it's a pretty good game. And I don't ever play any Fire Emblem games. And Zeronix is playing with Zilla and Shell.
Let go of that spin a little bit too early, but you got tempered. It's fine. And on left side swamp we have blueberries. Wait for it. And a big key. Yay! Let's go back to the big chest. Alright, so at this point, Tabby Cat could go fine and go mode swamp. Could go to pull pet at this point. Whatever she wants.
She's gonna go ahead and pull Pedestal because, well, she knows what this is. Yeah, and it's a decision that you make, really. Just checking the Pedestal before bonk rocks, and like after you do bonk rocks to get that once you get. Let me try again. Getting the early book to do an early ped check. That's always something that I will do because it eliminates pad. Just it eliminates the ped check. You don't have to worry about it later. But with it being this early on, yeah. And we get a mushroom. Apparently, it looks like Zeronix got a mushroom from out of that from out of the Swamp Palace big chest. Full on go mode at 1:21 and some change.
Okay, down to the last few checks for Zeronix. Please don't give Zeronix a shovel out of one of the other fetch quests. We'd appreciate it. Don't do it.
If that's the case, I'm just gonna be like, oh man.
Wasn't meant to be.
A very triumphant flute activation, I would say. All right. We're off to, where do we want to go? We are going to Meyer first.
Go mode Meyer could be similar to go mode Turtle Rock. You may find it quickly, or you may have to full clear.
And for flippers to be in go mode, it's because of Swamp Palace being a crystal. And also, I get and to a little bit of a degree, Ice Palace. But you could just, but it's more just for logical access and not like hard required.
But alas, those darn flippers hard required for Swamp, unless you're playing a super glitchy mode.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, Butter!
To be fair, you are doing the glitch mentor stuff, so and the mentor tournament, so it makes sense that you mentioned that.
Yes, I am. I'm not doing it well, but I'm doing it.
I've been meaning to mentor some people. Just time hasn't really been on my side today. This time, so. Anyway, other than that, we are now in Mire. Hopefully this is a God Mire so that we can make this quick.
Yeah, not God Mire yet.
Not yet. I will just say though, this seed has been very, very rough. Like, this has been a pretty bad seed.
Like, the seed hasn't done anything too trolly. If you're thorough in your checks, right? You check pet. You go into dungeons and you just don't leave. This seed is really quick.
Yeah, it's the seed itself is it's not, I mean, so it's not bad, so to speak. It's just that it depends on how you routed it. It could have been over really quick, and how you made you routed the dungeons. But it kind of feels bad for these two runners, which, by the way, definitely should give a follow. They've made it this far. They will be seeing these coming. You will be seeing these teams. You'll be seeing Tabby Cat and Zero in next season in the Invite League, because they made it to the conference finals, and that means they're amongst the top 4 teams, and that means those top 4 teams will be awarded a invitational berth for next season's Link to the Past Randomizer League.
And while you're at it, give a follow to my co-com Professor Render and our tracker today, and also one of the team members of one of these two teams, Dapper Worm Man.
Yep. And Zero Next, as we mentioned it, has checked the pedestal. He is now feeling
probably upset.
Very upset. Like, it's like, oh no, yeah, I've totally lost this now.
He's thinking, I should have been done 15 minutes ago. And Tabby Cat probably thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, both runners definitely feel like they're behind for different reasons based on the decisions that they made.
But why is Zero Nix doing a skull first?
I think really I don't think it matters. Like, you either do desert or you do skull.
Well, you're double dipping up northwest by coming up and doing skull first. I mean, it's kind of one of those things that your brain is just probably not caring what's going on right now. But
yeah,
at the same time, desert then skull, but that's okay.
Yeah, you're close by to Skull Woods, so it makes sense to go to there first. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I just want this to be done. I'm sorry, I just want to be done, please, thank you. Oh man,
the seed has done a number on poor Render.
Yeah, it really. I mean, it's not, again, it's not that bad. It's just that it's just been unfortunate for these two runners.
Okay, Skullwood's down 4. Xeronix just gotta go. And Xeronix isn't really that far behind. I mean, you're gonna go do desert, you're gonna pull bed, you're gonna get a Godmire, and you're right where Tabby Cat is. And you've already done Swamp, technically. So once your Godmire is done, you're heading right up the GT.
Yep, and we'll be playing the Aerosoap lovable game in due time.
Indeed. At least it's a boot start seed where you had it the whole time. That kind of helped navigation early. Probably helped some of your decision making to go to desert really quick.
Okay, Zero Next is gonna be into the back of desert.
And with Turtle Rock beaten, gonna be able to pulp in. And here we go with an Argus fight from Tabby Cat.
This will be pretty quick.
Argus not cooperating very well. Question for you though, Render.
Yeah?
You like games?
I like games. I mean, I play...
You want to talk with chat about a game?
Sure. Hey, chat. I like to play a game. Put in numbers in the chat, and if you are the first one to get it exactly or are closest to it above or below, then cool, good on you. You get a you get some affection, some love and affection from your favorite green scientist bear. I guess it's a TT making guessing game. I was gonna make a cut about Magic the Gathering, but I mean, technically speaking, seeing above or below, you are accounting for Price is Right rules, and a little bit more, and a little bit extra.
You do have one of the most adorable, the sprites from A Link to the Past Rando.
Oh, why? Thank you very much.
What, Professor Render Grizzleton, is it?
Grizzleton, yeah, Professor Render Grizzleton.
Chad, if you've never used that sprite, do yourself a favor.
It's funny because that's an old design now. I'm not kidding. That I designed that like 2 years ago, like a year ago or 2 years ago, something like that.
It's a little bear in a little lab coat. It's so adorable.
Yeah. So, Tabitha has had difficulty doing these hook clips. I'm surprised that she was attempting to do the hook clip when she should just do the mirror as well.
And here we go, Zero Next getting into gun mode.
Yeah. Yeah, and now Zero Next has to do is finish up Meyer, and we'd be done. Zero Next will be heading to GT. Of course, Zero Next will have to still do the flute activation.
So Tabby Cat is looking for the GT Big Key. Anybody who wants to get a little guess in last minute, 1 to 22, where's that GT Big Key? But also, the silvers are going to be in GT somewhere. Or worst case, I guess, shovel in GT 2 silvers. Who knows? But so that'd be nice.
Because of course silvers will be in GT.
Right?
Yeah, number 1 is a small key, so we won't see Bob today.
Bye, Bob!
After paying the flutes, now we have check 2, big key, right away. Oh hey, vulnerability items.
Seeing if we get silvers. No, we don't.
So, the first one to say too is Kabutroid. I love the name. So, good on you. You won me saying good on you from the best screen scientist fair in all of Hyrule.
Plasma Blob, you also got a number 2 guess. Well done on you as well. Y'all win a lifetime supply of rando suits brought to you by ALTTPR.com. Well done.
And Slash Robot.
There you go.
You just hit the entire source code of Slash Robot. There you go. Alright, starting to climb now.
Xeronix gonna have a really quick mire here. It is gonna be second check, unless you go right first, then it'll be first. So Tabby Cat's last 2 big keys they cared about were both in check too.
A little bit of RNG shenanigans with that first Isaac room, but not as bad of the second one.
And the Southwest being rude as always. Ooh, almost got the 1 cycle.
Alright, Wizard Rooms 1 and 2, I don't need to mention how satisfying it is to do it. Alright, almost at the top of GT here.
Plenty of magic to go ahead and get the Torch 2-1 done as well. Question is, are we going to try and get silvers here? I'm going to bet yes.
We are going to check 1 check here, so a little bit of fluffing, I guess. Skipping on the...
I was going to say, yeah, skipping out in that pre-Moldorm too.
Yep, skipping the pre-Moldorm 2. Good, easy Moldorm 2 fight. Maybe check the fluff chest? Yes, but it's not it.
Not even a heart refill. Gosh darn it, game. Okay, we did have Xeronix finishing off Vitreous. Crystal, number 7, going up to GT as well.
Really, I think there has to be no other spot that I could think of that would have those silvers. I think it would have to be in GT in one spot.
Yeah, it's either in GT or it's a shovel from GT to get it from Dig Spot. But either way, silvers aren't going to be in Ganon's Tower, more or less.
Yeah, it would have to be it. And we did see the last chest of Laser Bridge when Xeronix did a full clear of TR.
And Swamp.
It could also be Mire, because we got a God Mire and we didn't see anything else from Mire.
Oh, there's only 2 items. What are the chances it's Mire?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility though.
Oh yeah, or Mire Shed or Checkerboard, I guess. So technically, chances of going up in the Mire area are pretty good, but there's still a lot of GT it could be into.
Yeah. Now, Tabbycat's using some Mario strats to make to get some free spins on Ganon.
Got to be a little bit careful. Pretty sure no safeties besides a green potion.
Yeah, there's nothing here. So she'll have to play a little bit safe for this. Now, she still has some time to work with. And Dark Worlds.
Okay, that is going to be Mire Shed.
Has to be. Oop.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Again, not a big deal. You still have time to work with. So, yeah. So with this def, that means Tabbycat will have a different pattern to work with.
Already gets hit from the range weapon there from Ganon, so he's still a little bit low on health. Does have red mail though.
Yeah, and gonna use the burner here, although this is gonna cause significant lag. Although, I mean, I guess that makes sense to use it because you have a green potion in reserve. But even then, you're still down with 4 hearts.
Yeah, don't want to get hit.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit, especially when you're probably, after that death, your heart is like absolutely racing. Alright, Torch Glitch again for Tabbycat.
Gotta get 12 quick spins.
I got a little worried there because that fire bat came pretty close to hitting her.
We haven't set it up, but quickly before Tabbycat finishes up here, don't forget to give these two runners a follow. Links are in chat, putting on a fantastic show for us. And while you're at it, give my co-com, Professor Render, a follow, as well as Apple Wormman, who is also in this tournament.
Yep, as part of Team Amish Paradise, and will be one of the team players that will be moving on to the Invites League next season.
Take the words out of your mouth. Good on them.
Yeah. Tabbycat took a fire bat. Ooh, okay. Took another fire bat hit. Now, I don't think... Okay, never mind. We're clear.
There we go. Everybody, you know the drill. Get your GGs in chat for Tabbycat. Just a moment, we'll have Render read off the official time for you.
Yeah, so Tabbycat will take game 1 of this best of 5 match. The first conference finals matchup goes to Tabbycat and Farm Friends, finishing first place with an official racetime.gg time of 1:41.53.
GG to Tabbycat and Farm Friends, taking game 1 of the series, as Render just said.
Yep. Ooh, wow. That, again, very, very close, a very, very tough, well-fought battle, and it just came down to an early decision that was made. Really.
We got game 2 coming up on Wednesday. That'd be 1:10 p.m. Eastern. Same teams.
Yep. We saw one of our players in the chat, and that was Mr. Scrub Ninja Tuna. He'll be playing that race.
And the other one, our tracker Dapper Wormman tonight, will also be in that race for some Ambrosia.
Gotta love Ambrosia. Honestly, one of my favorite modes. All right, Ganon. Ganon fight. I got 2 fight coming up for Zero Nix.
And with that, we do welcome Tabby Cat into the booth. Welcome, and GG to you.
GG.
GG's.
Oh, wow.
So how about those fire sources?
I love last location. Like last locating my fire sources. It's my favorite thing. Just like, you know, it's just my favorite thing ever.
I bet.
Yeah, it was really a big question that on our minds. It was like when will she go back to Skullwoods to get that fire rod? It just ended up being that it was a last location, hard last location. But what really gave you the advantage, and I'm pretty sure you mentioned this, I really was that early pedestal play, the pedestal check that you made.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it early, and because when I got the book, I'm like, you know what, I'm out of here. I might as well go check it. And when I saw it was there, I was like, okay. Now all I have to do is just have these 3 items, and then I'll be fine. And then couldn't find a fire source to save my life, and then I was like, you know what, it's gonna be desert at this point, but let me just go clear everything else, you know, on the way to desert, because it literally the only things I had left before lamp was just the way to desert. So I was like, okay, and so I got that and was like, well, that's a thing. And then so I'm like, okay, well, let me go up to Turtle Rock real quick, because Fire Rod, this could be one of those legendary Fire Rod on Laser Bridge moments. And it wasn't, and I was like, no, it's not the other check. There's no, and I was pretty tilted at that point, but yeah, Fire Rod, no, I'm not okay with it right now.
Oh, yeah, and I kind of figured that was the case, because like it was clear that like from the 2 slashes you did, it was just, yeah, it's not a good spot for it, really.
You see, normally I would go in there and just kind of go all the way through it, but like when you forget your first check is the hammer, you know, it's like, okay, well, in this case, I there's no way there's going to be 2 progression items in Skullwoods, and well, yeah.
Yeah, and Zero Nix has taken down Ganon. GG's in the chat for him. He will be finishing this race out, coming in second with an official race time.gg time of 1:46.19. So about 5 minutes apart from each other. Roughly about 5
GG to
minutes.
Zero Nix.
GG's indeed. That was it was a seed.
It was a seed, yeah. I mean, it wasn't too bad. It's just the decisions that were made that made it feel bad.
Yeah, it just comes down to literally just, you know, following the, you know, if I had followed the book like I intended on doing, and then, you know, finding everything to go in the Dark World, I'm like, well, I need a fire source, and likely there's going to be a fire source on the mountain. Like 9 times out of 10, it's either, you know, it's either in swamp or it's in mountains. So I'm like, I'll just go up the mountain and look there. Let me go up and look in every single more dense location area than those locations. So
Yeah, and in the booth is Zero Nix, GG's, and well thought.
Yo, GG.
GG.
Yeah.
So just like I asked Tabby Cat with those fire sources, to you, Zero Nix, how about that ped?
When I got the book, I was like, hey, I should probably do something with this. And I went to desert and completely neglected the thing right next to it. So I'll keep that in mind for next time. Yeah,
it just is it's a decision that you make. It's yeah, and just so happened that it ended up being the play that honestly I know how well towards you. It was just a play that ended up not working out.
That the 3 dips to Desert Palace didn't help. I figured that lamp had to be the only thing in there, and it was like a consolation for that play. I'm like, all right, it's whatever. We'll move on from that.
We were kind of trying to read the scene as it goes on, how you two are going to be able to do things. And eventually it was going to be like, well, Tabby's going to find that Samaria and go to TR before going back to Skull. And for you, it was like, okay, we're gonna check pad this trip, right? Oh, we're going right to Dark World. Okay, this time, right? No, but otherwise your routing was just spot on. I mean, you kept getting the items, leaving. It just turned out to be a ped seed.
Yeah, it was very confusing because it quickly went from like everything falling right in my lap to I have a bunch of just one-off checks, and it was a last location. So I had some whiplash and some just confusion there in the middle.
Yeah, but there's still plenty of games to play. This is only game 1, and hey, we were mentioning this at the start. What a way to start off the conference finals with a ped seed.
Yeah, let's hope the next 2 are nicer.
Yeah, for sure. I really don't have anything else to say. Lana, do you have anything else to add to it?
No, just you both did a fantastic job. It just turned out the one thing that both of you just kind of didn't do just cost both of you, but at the same time it ended up being a very entertaining race because Render and I are like, when are they going to go to the places they need to go? We know where the things are, but it was really well fought race. GG's to both of you, but otherwise no real other questions from me. But any final thoughts from you two before we call it?
I think the last 20 minutes were just panic, probably for both of us. That was the first I checked the race time, and I was like, okay, so she's at least struggling a little bit bad. And then every couple minutes I checked again. I'm like, okay, we're probably pretty much in the same boat. And then I was just glad it was close.
For sure. I always I faced Zero Nix in a Challenge Cup a couple years ago, and it was great. And I'm happy that I got to face you again, and I'm glad that it was a good show for all.
It's always fun to play with friends, so this will be a fun series.
It really will be.
As we were saying before, game 2 from both your teams tomorrow afternoon, I believe.
Yeah, yep. 1 o'clock or 1:10 rather. But yeah, GG's to both of you, and wish farm friends and Amish Paradise good luck in the second game of this conference finals matchup. So if you haven't done this already, give both runners a nice hearty follow. They deserve it, and they put on an incredible performance. And of course, go give my co-com Lana being a follow, and of course myself, and our tracker Dapper Mormon, who also represents Amish Paradise. So yeah, I'll let you have the final word, and we'll take us out.
Sounds good. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. Don't forget to give SpeedGaming through SpeedGaming 6 a follow. Lots of racing and rando action daily on these channels, so you're not going to go long without seeing some great races of multiple kinds of games. So, but thanks to everybody for joining us. Thanks to my co-com, Professor Render, as always, and thank you to Dapper Warman for handling all the tracking for us, and these two runners put on a great show for us. Everybody have a great night, and we'll catch y'all a little bit later here. Take care now.
Take it easy.